Welcome to this insightful exploration of Russia's growing influence in the context of the perceived collapse of the United States. Today we delve into the complex dynamics of international power shifts and examine how Russia has capitalized on the perceived weaknesses of the US to expand its influence. In recent years, Russia has actively pursued strategies to assert itself as a global power. As geopolitical tensions between Russia and the US have intensified, Russia has seized opportunities to fill perceived power vacuums and extend its influence in regions where the US presence may be waning. Russia's increasing influence can be observed through the strategic geopolitical maneuvers and partnerships. In response to perceived US disengagement and shifting allegiances, Russia has aimed to enhance its ties with nations that may feel disillusioned or neglected by the US. Russia has tactically deepened its relationship with countries in the Middle East, seizing the opportunity to fill perceived power voids and challenge US influence in the region. One significant alliance is with Syria, where Russia has provided military support to the government of Bashar al-Assad, enabling the regime to regain control over crucial areas. This partnership has bolstered Russia's position as a key player in the region and allowed it to establish military bases, such as the Tartus naval facility, securing its interests in the Mediterranean. Additionally, Russia has fostered ties with Iran, sharing common interests in regional stability, energy cooperation, and opposition to US policies. This collaboration has further expanded Russia's influence and questioned the traditional dominance of the US in the Middle East. Russia has also sought to strengthen its presence in Latin America, a region historically influenced by the United States. By forging alliances and partnerships, Russia aims to counterbalance US influence and expand its economic and political ties. For instance, Russia has deepened its relationship with Venezuela, providing economic assistance, military cooperation, and diplomatic support to the government of Nicolas Maduro. This alliance not only safeguards Russia's interests in the region but also challenges US efforts to isolate the Maduro regime. Similarly, Russia has engaged in partnerships with other countries in Latin America, such as Cuba and Nicaragua, through economic cooperation, energy agreements, and military collaboration. These actions enable Russia to gain leverage and expand its geopolitical influence in the region. Russia has also focused on strengthening its presence in Africa and Asia, regions that have traditionally been influenced by other major powers. Through economic partnerships, arms sales, and diplomatic engagement, Russia aims to establish itself as a key player and gain access to strategic resources. In Africa, Russia has deepened its relations with countries such as Sudan, Egypt, and South Africa, offering economic aid, infrastructure development, and military cooperation. These alliances provide Russia with access to vital markets and resources while challenging Western dominance in the region. In Asia, Russia has forged closer ties with countries like China and India through economic cooperation, joint military exercises, and diplomatic exchanges. These partnerships aim to counterbalance US influence in the Asia-Pacific region and expand Russia's geopolitical reach. As Russia continues to pursue its geopolitical objectives and strengthen its partnerships, the consequences of its growing influence will undoubtedly shape the global political landscape in the years to come. The intricate interactions between major powers and the regional counterparts will require prudent diplomacy and strategic engagement to maintain stability and foster cooperation in an ever-evolving world. Russia's growing influence can also be attributed to its military and defense capabilities. In recent years, Russia has invested in modernizing its armed forces and asserting itself as a formidable military power on the global stage. Russia has made significant advancements in developing and deploying advanced military technologies and weaponry. It has showcased its capabilities with the development of hypersonic missiles, such as the Avangard and Kinzhal systems, which have the ability to travel at speeds that make them difficult to intercept. These advancements in missile technology provide Russia with a strategic advantage and strengthen its deterrent capabilities. Additionally, Russia has invested in the development of next-generation submarines such as the Bore and Yasin-class submarines, which possess advanced stealth capabilities and carry long-range ballistic missiles. These submarines enhance Russia's ability to project power and maintain a strong presence in the global waters. Russia has also demonstrated its prowess in cyber warfare and information operations. It has been accused of engaging in cyber attacks, hacking and disinformation campaigns to disrupt and influence political processes in various countries. These activities have raised concerns about the potential impact on national security, democratic systems, and public trust in institutions. Russia's cyber capabilities, coupled with its information warfare tactics, enable it to shape narratives, sow discord, and manipulate public opinion both domestically and internationally. The use of social media platforms and sophisticated propaganda techniques allow Russia to project its influence, undermine adversaries, and create confusion in the information space. Russia has actively engaged in military interventions, asserting its influence in conflicts beyond its borders. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 demonstrated Russia's willingness to employ military force to advance its geopolitical objectives. Its involvement in the conflict in eastern Ukraine and support for separatist groups have challenged regional stability and tested international norms. Furthermore, Russia's military intervention in Syria, starting in 2015, has had a significant impact on the dynamics of the ongoing civil war. By providing military support to the Syrian government, Russia has not only bolstered its strategic presence in the region, but also positioned itself as a key player in shaping the outcome of the conflict. Another significant aspect of Russia's growing influence lies in its economic and energy prowess. Russia, being rich in natural resources, particularly oil and gas, has leveraged its energy reserves to expand its economic influence and strengthen its geopolitical position. Russia's status as a major energy producer and exporter has granted it significant leverage in global energy markets. It is one of the world's largest producers of oil and natural gas, allowing it to influence prices, control supply routes, and establish economic dependencies. Through state-owned companies like Gazprom and Rosneft, Russia has established long-term energy contracts with various countries, ensuring stable revenue streams and enhancing its economic influence. Moreover, Russia has pursued strategic energy partnerships, particularly with Europe. It supplies a substantial portion of Europe's energy needs, making it a crucial energy supplier for the continent. This energy dominance grants Russia considerable political and economic leverage, enabling it to shape regional dynamics and maintain influence over European countries. In addition to energy, Russia has actively pursued economic partnerships and investments in various regions around the world. It seeks to diversify its economic interests, expand trade networks, and foster economic cooperation with other nations. Russia has focused on strengthening economic ties with countries in Central Asia through initiatives like the Eurasian Economic Union. This regional economic bloc fosters closer integration, trade liberalization, and harmonization of economic policies, strengthening Russia's economic influence in the region. Furthermore, Russia has engaged in economic cooperation with African nations, offering investment, infrastructure development, and trade agreements. This economic outreach allows Russia to gain access to strategic resources, expand its market presence, and challenge the dominance of other major players in Africa. Russia's economic influence extends beyond bilateral partnerships. It has pursued geoeconomic strategies to counterbalance Western dominance and promote a multipolar world order. One example is the establishment of alternative financial systems. Russia has advocated for alternatives of the US-dominated international financial system, such as the creation of the BRICS New Development Bank and the Eurasian Development Bank. These institutions provide financing for infrastructure projects and promote economic cooperation among emerging economies, reducing dependence on Western financial institutions. Moreover, Russia has actively pursued economic cooperation with countries facing sanctions or strained relations with the West. By offering economic assistance and investment, Russia positions itself as an alternative partner, providing an avenue for countries to diversify their economic ties and reduce reliance on Western powers. Russia's growing influence is not limited to conventional military and economic means. The country has also been actively involved in cyber influence and information warfare, using these tactics to shape narratives, sow discord, and manipulate public opinion. Russia has been accused of engaging in cyber attacks, hacking, and disinformation campaigns aimed at influencing elections, destabilizing governments, and undermining democratic institutions in various countries. These activities have raised concerns about the potential impact on national security and the integrity of democratic processes. The growing influence of Russia in the face of the perceived collapse of the United States carries significant implications for global dynamics and geopolitics. It challenges the traditional power structures and may lead to shifts in alliances, regional dynamics, and global governance. The implications of Russia's growing influence are complex and multifaceted. On one hand, some argue that Russia's assertiveness provides an alternative power center that counterbalances the dominance of the United States. This can lead to a more multipolar world order where different nations have a greater say in global affairs. However, there are concerns about the nature of Russia's influence and its implications for regional stability and democratic values. Russia's actions, such as its military interventions and alleged interference with other countries' internal affairs, have raised questions about its respect for sovereignty and international norms. The international community has responded to Russia's growing influence in various ways. Some countries have sought to strengthen their alliances with the United States and other like-minded nations to counterbalance Russian influence. Economic sanctions have also been imposed on Russia in response to its actions, aiming to deter further aggressive behavior. Furthermore, international institutions such as the United Nations and NATO have played a role in monitoring and responding to Russia's actions. These organizations provide a platform for dialogue, cooperation, and collective security measures to address the challenges posed by Russia's growing influence. It's important to note that the perceptions of the United States' collapse and Russia's rise are subjective and can vary depending on geopolitical perspectives. While some may view Russia's actions as a strategic opportunity, others may view them as a threat to stability and the established world order. In conclusion, Russia's growing influence in the context of perceived collapse of the United States is a complex and evolving phenomenon. It involves geopolitical moves, military capabilities, economic influence, and cyber activities. The implications of this growing influence are significant and continue to shape global dynamics and the balance of power. As the international community navigates these complexities, it remains crucial to promote dialogue, cooperation, and respect for international norms to ensure a stable and peaceful global order.